I'm often asked by people who call me after an accident, I had an accident 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 3 years ago. Can I really bring another case if I've already had an accident case? I'm Stephen Goldstein. I'm a personal injury lawyer in New York and New Jersey. And the answer to the question is yes. The question is also asked, can I have another lawsuit, even if it's the same body parts that I've hurt? I hurt my back 3 years ago, and now I hurt it again. Can I bring a lawsuit? Again, the answer is yes, you could make a claim, but let me explain to you how that accident or the other accident before this one will affect the outcome of this case. So it's a good question to ask, and it's a legitimate question to ask. So how does a lawyer approach somebody who has an accident where they've already had an accident? It's going to minimize a little bit the value of the second case, because an insurance company or a defendant in a lawsuit is, of course, going to say, hey, this person hurt their back 5 years ago. They weren't hurt from this accident. They were hurt then. Well, you would go to the doctor, and if the doctor is able to say, hey, look, yes, they did hurt their back 5 years ago, but this accident made it worse. What you are is you are able to recover for your pain and suffering for the value of what was made worse. So for instance, if 100 you're in perfect health, and after your first accident you are driven down to a 50 but back up to a 75, well, if the second accident knocks you back down to a 50, then you are able to recover for the value of going from 50 to 75. A lot of times, even though you may have an old injury to your back, a new injury may occur. And how is that found? When you go to the doctor will take an MRI of your back on the second accident. And if the doctor is able to look at the first MRI and compare it to the second, sometimes a doctor will be able to say, yes, there was damage on the first, but here's the new damage that occurred. These aren't easy cases. However, you should not be discouraged from talking to a lawyer and trying to pursue, especially if you were hurt by somebody through no fault of your own, and you had an accident before, you started feeling better, and now you're feeling back the way you were. They're difficult cases, they're complicated cases, and if you ever find yourself in this situation, you could always give me a call at the number that's listed above, or go to my website for more information on car accident or trip and fall accidents in general at www.ghlawnyj.com.